Hello and a very warm welcome to my channel. I'm Virginia Cinquemani, sustainability coach, trainer and author. In this video, I'll show you why your sustainability pitch fails and how to fix it by learning about people's personalities. Once I had a CEO who would only talk to me while walking and only cared about the big picture. He just didn't care about the details. When I was consulting in sustainable buildings, often engineers wanted to know the most minute details, on the other hand, before even understanding the vision of the project. And I had a boss once who would just focus on utilization and numbers instead of her employees. Now, if I had just one way of engaging people in my sustainability initiatives, like a scripted pitch, how could I appeal to these completely different personalities? Now, reality is we're all different. Our focus naturally goes to the things we care about the most in line with our personalities. It's just we don't consider that. So why do we speak to people always in the same way, often using the same cookie cutter pitch? So, for example, if I'm a detailed person, I tend to send long emails full of data. If I'm a people person who's always making new connections, I might, on the opposite, just grab a coffee with people and forget about the technicalities. But what about my audience? Does my approach resonate with them or alienate them? Now, if you want to successfully engage others in your sustainability initiatives, you might want to try and understand their main personality traits first and flex your style to suit them. And I know that you haven't got time. However, hear me out, spending a little bit of time working out your audience's personality, whether they are your clients, board of directors or colleagues, will give you a better chance to sell sustainability to them effectively. Why? Because business is always done from person to person, not company to company. And so your best chance to persuade another person to buy into your ideas is to attune with them. This means flexing your style to the type of person you have in front of you. At the moment, you might speak to people in a way that suits your own personality style. However, in order to sell to anyone effectively, you need to adapt your style to suit other personality types. Now, let me clarify, you don't need to change as a person. You will still need your authenticity when dealing with others, but you can definitely learn to present facts to them in a different light, for example, or in a different format that suit them better. When speaking to them, you can choose your words a little more carefully according to the personality you're dealing with and what they're focused on. For instance, if you know you're presenting to a room full of engineers, chances are they will appreciate more the technical advantages and the accuracy of your carbon calculator than, say, a room full of executive directors, probably more interested in the business opportunity you are presenting. The product, your carbon calculator, is absolutely the same. You just are presenting different advantages of it, depending on the angle that resonates the most with a specific audience. A very simple way of identifying your audience's personality style is to use a method that was first theorized nearly 100 years ago by someone called William Marston, who was a very resourceful psychologist who also created the Wonder Woman comics and also invented the lie detector. In 1928, Marston published his book titled Emotions of Normal People, in which he introduced his DISC theory. In his book, he classified 4 categories of human behavior, which we now know as DISC, which stand for D for dominant, I for influencing, S for steady, and C for compliant. While Marston saw that a person had a primary style, he also theorized that we're all a blend of different personalities. These personalities are based on whether people are more active or reflective and task-focused versus people-focused. The combination of these 4 character traits generates the 4 main DISC personalities. Now, let's do a quick test, shall we? Imagine that you need to discuss a new sustainability initiative. What's your ideal scenario? A 15-minute stand-up meeting with clear action items and deadlines. B, a brainstorming session over coffee in which we bounce ideas off each other. C, a scheduled sit down where everyone shares their thoughts and concerns. Or D, a meeting with a detailed agenda, supporting data, and time to review beforehand. You can pause here to think about the options and then start again. Do you have your answer now? Perfect. We'll come back to the results in just a moment. But first, let me show you what these 4 personality types actually look like in real life. Damien is a managing director at Disc Manufacturing. He has little time to waste. He's always on the go, so his meetings are generally short and to the point. He talks with his hands, he gets bored easily, and can be blunt. He wants his company to become the best in his sector, and he thrives on challenges. Now, Damien is very self-assured and knows what he wants. He's a man on a mission. He can be very demanding and domineering as well. Which 2 personality characteristics can you think Damien might have? Now, Damien is obviously active and task-focused. He falls into the red quarter of the disc, i.e. the dominant section. If in your test you answered A, you are like Damien, red dominant. Now, Imogen, on the other hand, is head of marketing and events at Disc Manufacturing. She knows everyone in the sector. She's optimistic, enthusiastic, and thrives in gathering people around her. Imogen loves her social life. She's very expressive when she talks. She can put you in touch with absolutely anyone you please, but you need to remind her because she can easily forget. She's a bit loud and impulsive at times. Imogen falls into the yellow or influential section, which is people-focused and active. And if in the test you answer B, then you have a yellow influential personality as well. Sarah is head of HR at Disc Manufacturing. She's calm and she's patient. She loves being helpful and she loves her job. She dislikes the spotlight, believes in the power of collaboration, and highly values loyalty and security. Now, you might not get any clues from her facial expressions, and she speaks at a steady, easy pace. Her motto is slow and steady wins the race. She can be indecisive, though, and might take disagreements quite personally. Sarah is people-focused and reflective, which makes her a green or steady person, just like you if you answer C in the test. Carl works in the engineering department of Disc Manufacturing. Carl is brainy and a little geeky. He is in his element when he designs the technical details of products and loves the logic of his job. He takes pride in the quality of his work. He can be very cautious and he needs to ponder before making a decision. He dislikes socializing too much. Carl is reflective and task-focused, which makes him a compliant or blue personality type, and so are you if you answer D in the test. Naturally, the world is not split exactly into 4. You'll find that some people are a crossover of the profiles, having a dominant color and secondary color traits too. Additionally, we all evolve and change in time, so the colors of our personalities can also shift. The key is to quickly identify which dominant trait your audience has and then focus on understanding their personality in the initial conversations you share with them. You can learn a great deal about people and their personality from how they write emails, how they speak during video calls, and how they use their body language. Now, that can be an enormous help when determining how to flex your own style to connect with them a bit better. When you understand the person in front of you and adapt your style, you will be selling sustainability more effectively. A common mistake is, indeed, not to take personalities into consideration and adopt a standardized approach. A client of mine, for example, shared how she has a client who was really invested in the project they were doing together, but didn't come back to her when she sent the usual long and detailed emails with all the data that she needed from him. Then, when she called to chase him, he sent everything straight away. Now, she realized that he wasn't keen on lengthy, detailed emails and more of a red dominant type who prefers a quick conversation to move things forward. I developed a flowchart to quickly work out what this personality you and your audience potentially have, depending on evident behaviors. You'll find it in the detailed box below. Now, I'm very curious to know which personality you have and what is your natural communication style. So feel free to post it in the comments and share any challenges you might have in this sense. It is worth considering how some roles are naturally filled by people with a main personality style. For instance, many CEOs and directors will fit within the red type, so they are extrovert, vision-driven, focused on a plan. While scientists, engineers, and technical people generally fit within the blue section. They are introverts, they are analytical, and they're driven by objectivity. Now, the question is, once you have identified your audience's likely personality, what do you need to do to adapt your style so that your message resonates more? Now, you can start by thinking about how you want to communicate with them. So the how is equally important as the message. A dominant personality will not appreciate lengthy and fluffy emails like my clients shared in her example, but possibly welcome a quick face-to-face or a phone call. They hate wasting time, so be prepared for them to take immediate action. And in terms of winning sustainability arguments, red people will be more receptive to sustainability's return on investment benefits and how certain decisions will affect their bottom line. With yellow or influential people, describe the overview before the details, discuss the meaning of the information or data you have, and emphasize the big picture. Plus, you could identify, for example, the opportunities and the challenges. Use your best inspirational storytelling to move them forward in your sustainability journey. And this can be as simple as sharing a well-constructed case study. That's the best possible storytelling we can have in our sector. Show them how sustainability can make them and their company the most popular and visible in the sector, and perhaps suggest running for awards. Why not? What if they are green or steady? Now, show sincere interest in them. Don't force them to take action and allow them to think about what you're proposing and reach their own conclusions. Acknowledge their values and focus on the positive benefits that sustainability has on people and communities, as well as the long-term and security benefit for their company. With blue or compliant people, focus on concrete facts. Discuss the steps involved in the correct sequence, have a clear purpose for the meeting, create an agenda that you both agreed on, and stick to the timescales given. Now, be ready with all your detailed facts and figures so that you can back up your claims. With blue personalities, the risk management advantages of sustainability can be a winning argument since it appeals to their cautious nature. Also, if you can demonstrate that your solution is the most logical one from a technical point of view, then you are on the winning side. So here is a table that summarizes the sustainability arguments you can use to persuade different personality types, their preferred way of communicating, and the behaviors to avoid, which you can use to build your case before meeting any audience. You can also find it in the box below to download. Now, you might be thinking, what if I'm presenting to a large number of people and I can't obviously work out which personalities they have? In that case, I suggest you prepare for a variety of personalities. So perhaps start with the big visionary ideas. What are the key takeaways you want your audience to have by the end of your presentation? This will appeal especially to vision-driven, dominant, and influential people. Then talk about the concrete results that the sustainability can provide, including return on investment, carbon savings, or regulation compliance. Now, obviously, this should appeal to anyone, but particularly to compliant and dominant personalities. Then share what these ideas will mean for people. This will generate interest in people-oriented personalities like influential and steady. And finally, obviously, share some details to provide credibility for compliant and steady personalities. Now, if you have a ton of data, I would suggest that you do not share it on the presentation because that can alienate other personality types, but you can make it available for anyone who is interested in digging further into it. So what is your next step? Here is what I want you to do today. Identify one person, only one, that you need to win over for your sustainability initiatives. Now, based on what we covered in this video, what colors are they? Are they the fast-moving red CEO who wants return on investment figures? Or perhaps they are the analytical blue engineer who needs every technical detail? Or they are people-focused green colleagues who cares about community impact? Or they are the enthusiastic yellow networker who wants the inspiring vision. Once you have identified the personality, rewrite the next email, presentation, or conversation with them using the strategies we have discussed today. Match their pace, speak their language, address what they actually care about. And remember, you're not changing your message. Sustainability is still sustainability. However, you are changing how you deliver it. Think of it like translation. The meaning stays the same, but you're speaking in a language that your audience understands. Unfortunately, most sustainability initiatives fail not because the ideas are bad, but because we fail to communicate them in a way that resonates with our audience. You could have the most brilliant carbon reduction strategy in the world, but if you're presenting it to a red personality with a 20-page technical document, you have already lost. Now, the good news is now you have the tools to change that. Start small, pick one person, flex your style, and see what happens. And if you find this helpful, you can download the disc resources in the description below with strategies you can use immediately. And now you can go out there and sell sustainability the smart way by understanding the person in front of you. Until the next video, bye-bye.